God's deliverance and provision. Exodus chapter 12, verse 31 to chapter 17, verse 16. The people of Egypt were crushed by God. So the people of Egypt were quite willing to let the people go and sacrifice to God. They gave the Israelites as much as their jewels, silver, and gold that they wanted. Their land was totally devastated. Their firstborn sons were all dead. Pharaoh finally gave in and told Israel to go, get out of his sight. Even some people who were not Israelites went with Israel. So all of these people left to go to the promised land. They went to the Red Sea. They wondered how they would cross the sea. Then terror struck. Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army to bring back the people of Israel. He just lost all of his free labor. We are talking thousands of people who were no longer working for Pharaoh and the Egyptians. Chariot after chariot went after Israel. The people started to panic. How are we going to get out of here? The sea is in front of us, with hills to either side of us, and Pharaoh's chariots are coming. They could see the dust of the chariots. Then God intervened. He was a pillar of cloud protecting Israel. He became a barrier for Israel between Israel and the Egyptians' chariots. Each time the chariots tried to cross, God would stop them. Moses said to see the hand of God go before them and protect them from behind. Moses listened to God and stretched out his staff over the sea, and the wind blew all night until there was dry ground. At night there would be a pillar of fire protecting them from Pharaoh's army. Then Moses told them to cross. Once Israel was just about all across to the other side, God moved out of the way of the chariots. So they went into the sea on dry land with their chariots. However, the wind started to blow, and the chariots started to break apart inside of the sea. When all of the people had crossed, the sea went back over the dry land. All of the chariots and the chariot drivers were killed by the water. There was nothing left of them. Moses told the people from each tribe to bring a large stone to the other side. They set these stones up to tell the generations after them what God had done for them. God provided food and water for them in the wilderness. They came to a mountain called Sinai. The people became afraid again. They saw fire and lightning on the mountain. They asked that Moses would be their representative. So Moses went up on the mountain where God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. When Moses came down from the mountain, he told them how to build a place for God called the tabernacle. God is much bigger than the tabernacle, but God wanted to dwell with his people. He wanted to be at the center of their lives. This tabernacle was called God is with us. The people were to camp outside of the tabernacle according to their tribes. 3 tribes on all sides of the tabernacle were to camp before God. During the day a pillar of cloud would stand in the tabernacle, and during the night a pillar of fire. When the cloud or fire moved, Israel moved. When it stopped, Israel stopped. God was with them. During Israel's time in the wilderness, they were tested by God. Moses had 1 man from each tribe to go into the promised land and come back and tell the people about the land God had promised to them. 10 people came back and told the people that they felt like grasshoppers in the land of the giants. But Joshua and Caleb said that God had given us the land. God will provide. Just believe God. Look at the fine grapes that we brought back. This is a land filled with milk and honey. Let's go and do just what God has said. But the people complained and chose not to obey or believe God totally. So God said, okay, you will not go into the land, but your children will. So they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. 2 men, Joshua and Caleb, trusted and obeyed God. So they were able to go into the promised land with the youth. God delivered them from slavery and the hand of the Egyptians and from Pharaoh himself. God gave them food and water. Also, their clothes did not wear out. God provided for everything. He saved them, but they would not believe. Next time, we will study about God is with us from the New Testament.